Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby, and I'm bringing you a replay today from the C server. This is from _DK_, and he's one of my Twitch followers. So big shout out to you, dude. And I'm sure everyone's going to be thrilled to see some of the gameplay that you're going to put out. Now, as you can see, DK is a very strong player. He's playing with his platoon mate, Creeping Death, and they're really going to showcase just how strong the American heavy tanks can be. Now, he's playing in the T32. This is a tank that has probably the best turret tier for tier in the game. Now the T32's weakness is the fact that its standard rounds have only got 198mm of penetration with its 105. However, in this beautiful matchup that he's been given, where he's only against 5 tier 8 tanks and a hell of a lot of tier 6s, with there only being 2 tier 7s on the enemy team, that penetration really isn't so much of a big deal. Now, of course, when he engages a Ferdinand or a Tiger II, for example, having 198 is still make your life a pain against heavily armored tanks such as those. However, that 198 really won't struggle too much in this matchup. So I think what DK is trying to do here is he's taking hold down locations, and that's what you need to find in the T32. He might have got rushed by some of the scouts, maybe some of the medium tanks would have played aggressively. So he wanted to stay in this position. However, his whole team seemed to follow him for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's because they're purple. Maybe the team just want to gather around them. That's cool if they do. So I think he saw that and realized, okay, let's get into the town and let's get the tanks going. So, what you're going to see DK do a lot of here is using his armor to the best effect. What he's doing here is he's zooming out to the max using a zoom mod to really be able to see what the enemy movements are and look for opportunities. So I think he's seen the Borsig. He sees that as an opportunity. He's advancing a little bit with his platoon mate, and he sees that Borsig has come around the corner. Now he's taking a little bit of a risk. The Borsig wasn't a good player there, but seeing that the Borsig was not aiming at him and the slow turret traverse on the Borsig, he was able to pull out a nice meaty shot there. So that was very clutch into the lower plate of the IS. It was his last opportunity to fire, so it was the right move to fire clutch there. So now we can see there's a Tiger II. That looked like there was a stock turret on that Tiger II, so that's not too much to worry about. Now what DK is doing here, which a lot of you can take something from, is he's holding his right mouse button to aim where he thinks the enemies are going to come out. And he's looking around him. So he's holding his right mouse button, probably communicating with his teammate to say, tell me when they come, I'll keep an eye out on the rest of the map. Just like he's doing, well, he was doing it previously, but basically what he's doing is he's holding his right mouse button where the enemies will come out and look in other places. In fact, he didn't even look at the enemy there. The VK came out in the same spot and he had already aimed there. And he simply fired at the VK without even using sniper mode there. And that's very good use of holding your right mouse button and keeping your turret locked in the same place. So far, he's managed to put out 2,000 damage already with that smashing shot on the Tiger II. Fortunately for him, the enemies seem to want to kill themselves. I don't think they realize just how dangerous a T32 and a T34 are. And with that ammo rack, that kind of even things up just a little bit. However, his team is still 3 tanks down. So he's working well with his T34 friend here. They're just basically letting the enemies sort of kill themselves for no reason. He gets a nice bit of beta damage off there with his engine fire. And the Tiger finally manages to penetrate him. Let's just take a quick look at where that penetrating shot happened. And yeah, that's right. Right on the lower plate of the T32. And he wasn't really angled at all. So when the T32 is not angled, 200mm is kind of enough to really get through the lower plate. But as you can see, the upper plate is actually very well angled. And if you do aid in angling the tank, this upper plate is very strong indeed. So if you're engaging a T32, don't take its upper plate lightly. And if you need to, aim at its machine gun port, which is a weakness on the front hull armor. So as this is an encounter, the base cap is really nice, and it's in the middle of the town on Siegfried Line. What that means is that they don't really have to leave the center of the map, which is always nice. So he's just side-scraping here around this corner, looking for that Borsig who has not been spotted for a while. Now he's going to flank around, use this wreck as cover, and that's really nice to see the Borsig right there. The Borsig seems to be panicking a little bit. He's aiming at him. Oh, he bounces. Bounces right off the upper hull armor there. You can see the bounce mark there. And that Borsig did not have a low caliber gun. He's using the 128, which has got more than enough penetration to really go through the T32 if he doesn't angle. The Tiger managed to penetrate him again, hitting him right in the same position on the middle of his lower plate. And finally the Borsig manages to go in. And that's put him on really low health. He's on 5 kills and 4,000 damage. Anyone would be proud of getting this. But a loss is going to be a loss. And his team seems to be melting around him. Still 3 tanks down. His teammate is badly beaten as well. He didn't quite have enough time to aim for the track there. If he had been able to track the Ferdinand, he might have been able to save his teammate. Great shot there on the 5100. But unfortunately the Ferdinand... Actually, sorry, the Ferdinand didn't come around the corner. The artillery smashed one down onto his friend. No idea what that VK is thinking he's doing there. I think he's a bit confused, reversing round the corner. He's looking for a shot on that Ferdinand, but he's far too deep into the town now. So he's keeping an eye out. The 5100 was last spotted north of him. Now his team are down 4 tanks. Fortunately for him, that VK seems to want to keep feeding him. And he hasn't taken any damage for the last 1,600 damage that he's been able to do. Oh god, there's an AMX behind him. Luckily, he didn't tunnel vision. He aimed beautifully, and I think the AMX 5100 went over a slight undulation. Didn't have the gun depression to shoot on him. Lovely result for him there to bounce that Ferdinand gun due to the well-angled upper front plate of the T32. And then the Ferdinand foolishly angled his tank, which allowed the T32 to get a side shot on him. And DK's really in a strong fight now. Look at this. He's getting surrounded by everything. A KV-1S on his front, Jagdpanzer 4 on his side, BK-3601 locking him down. There's an enemy artillery still alive. The KV-1S comes around the corner, but again, DK has angled his armor very well indeed, which allows him to bounce the 175mm of penetration on that 122mm shell by the KV-1S. Now the Jagdpanzer is trying to go hero mode. The Jagdpanzer shoots through his tracks, but DK is in a position to avoid fire. Now the KV-1S wants to come and have a turn, shoots his outer track. DK sees that the Jagdpanzer is trying to go around the back to flank him, and so right now he needs to get stuck in. He realizes that he needs to get stuck in. He can't afford to get flanked more, so he goes after this KV-1S. Advances before the VK's got a chance to shoot him in the side. Kills the KV-1S. Keeps his armor angled for the BK-3601, as you can see there. Takes him out as well. And he's been on a Kolobanov's medal now, by the way. The Jagdpanther 2 successfully killed his T28 prototype teammate in the field. And he was alone against 5 enemies. He's already done 7,000 damage and got 9 kills. Now he's got to be starting to feel like he's at least got a chance after killing those 2 tanks that were against him. So you can see now there's a Jagdpanther 2 blitzing round, and it looks like the artillery just misses him. Now the Jagdpanzer's coming back for him. Puts in a nice shot into the Jagdpanzer, and thankfully for him, the Jagdpanther didn't come around the corner at the same time. Now this Jagdpanther is no slouch. He's played 3,000 games, and he's got 1,100 efficiency. but he's definitely not up to DK's standard, and DK's on a roll. So he side scrapes very well there. The Jagdpanther fires into the track. The Jagdpanther seems to be panicking with that. DK puts in a great shot there, tracking him in position. Retracks him again. Now the Jagdpanther realizes, I have to repair my tracks and I have to pull back or I'm going to get owned. I think he just thought that he could repair his tracks in time. DK fails to penetrate that shot, so now he loads his first APCR round of the game, which manages to just go into the track. DK realizes with this high penetration he can probably aim at the upper plate and takes out the Jagdpanther too. Oh my god, okay. So he's on 8,100 damage now. He's got 352 health left. It's now just him against the artillery. So now this is where he nearly throws the game. He goes and pushes. He literally goes and pushes that Panther 2. Plus, when you're capping out, this is probably one of the only bad moves that DK makes in the game. Never, ever, ever go near Rex. If you go near Rex, that's the first place that artillery are going to blind fire. Second, so there's another wreck over there, so you should never go behind here. Secondly, you should never go in the bushes. If you go in the bushes, that's where artillery are going to blind fire next time. So DK did two things wrong there. One, he pushed the Panther 2, and any kind of movement, the artillery is going to go, ooh, right there. And secondly, he went near the wreck in the first place. If I was here, I would probably be chilling, maybe back here, away from the bushes, away from the wrecks, having vision here, facing my armor forwards, ready to go forwards as quickly as I can as soon as I spot the artillery. Because I want to know where he is, so he doesn't get the jump on me, and then I should be able to hunt him down successfully using my turret. So DK goes behind another wreck. Then he pulls back, thinking better of it. Stops in a strong position here. Oh, it's tense. It's tense. He's on 11 kills. And the artillery there fires blind again. He fires blind behind the wrecks. And DK has enough time to cap here. On an encounter, you cap 3 times as slowly. Or sorry, twice as slowly. Which means that you need 200 seconds to cap. So you need 3 minutes and 20 seconds to cap. So it's just a case of, will the artillery kill him? Will he get the jump on the artillery? You've got to be. If I was in this situation, my heart would be pumping right now. He's decided that the artillery are going to come from this direction. In these kind of situations, sometimes your brain like outthinks itself. You're thinking, oh god, which way is the artillery going to come? Especially in this cap circle. There's so many ways the artillery could come around this corner, come around the back, could sneak through here, could sneak back round here, could sneak through here, anywhere. DK seems to be holding his nerve. Aiming dead ahead in the same spot. Looking for that M44. And there he is. Oh, he kind of jerks a little bit, but he has the shot. Makes the kill. Great stuff. That M44 tried to be really sneaky at the end of the game. It just wasn't enough. What an absolutely huge carry. I personally haven't been able to have a round like this. This was just massive. 8,500 damage nearly and 12 kills. This was absolutely huge. Congratulations to you, DK. This is a massive game game that anyone would be proud to have in their World of Tanks career. Let's take a look at some post-game stats. So here we can see DK was able to get the Pools medal. He got a crucial contribution with his teammate, even though his teammate only managed to get 1 kill. He got Steel Wall, he got a Sniper medal, and he also got the Kolobanov medal. DK literally, single-handedly, well, his teammate did compared to him, a paltry 2,400 damage, but literally half of his team did no damage, or 65 damage. His team literally suicided. And all the players that he took out, we saw him take out the 5100, the Ferdinand. We saw him at least cripple the Borsig or take him out. We saw him take out that Jagdpanther 2. They'd all had fairly good games, up until they met DK and he showed them how to tank. Non-premium, non-double, DK picked up 2,327 experience. That's absolutely mind-boggling. That's nearly 3,500 experience for a non-double with a premium account. In a T32, that's just is absolutely massive. He fired 34 shots, hit 33 of them, doing just shy of 8,500 damage. He took 17 hits, of which 8 penetrated. He was left very low on health, but he did take 5,000, nearly 5,100 potential damage in a T32. Now, he detected 2, he damaged 2, and he destroyed 12, which means there was only 1 tank on the enemy team that DK did not hit. He got some capture points, and he did some defending at the same time. This was an absolute textbook game, and for me, it was very interesting to see that a T32 doesn't always need to be hulled down to have massive games. He did manage to use the strength of his turret in some locations when he was, for example, shooting over tanks. However, what DK showed is that you can make use of your frontal armor in the T32 if you angle your tank well. The technique that he was employing was reversing while your tank was angled. Now, quite often what will happen then is enemies will be aiming at your track and they'll miss and they'll end up shooting your upper front plate. This is a tactic I like to use in tanks such as the T54 and the Type 59. However, I saw that DK was making very good use of it here in the T32. And apart from when he wasn't angling and was penetrated by the Tiger early, he really did make very good use of the T32's armor. Anyway, a big thank you to you, DK, for submitting this replay. It's really good to see some fantastic play from some very skilled players on the Southeast Asia server. It was a joy to watch, and a big thank you to you for submitting this replay to me. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider rating it down below. I'd really appreciate it. And tell me what you think about the T32 and the game that DK played. Do you think he was just face stomping on noobs? But do you think that he did so much face stomping that it was still a massive achievement within its own right? Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.